Ladies and gentlemen, or should I say, hello, comrades. Welcome back to Democracy 4. My name, of course, is Little Potato. We are playing as the Potato Socialist Workers Party, Potatoes Workers Socialist Party, something like that. Look, it's a party name. Anyway, we are having a party here. Things are going very, very well. At the end of the last episode, we pulled off an amazing feat. Of financial maneuvering, I would say. And we are now in a situation where we are running a surplus. Our GDP has exploded upwards, and hopefully we're going to reap the benefits over the course of this episode. Now, I've read all of the comments on the previous episode, and there was a lot of really helpful ones, really constructive comments as ever. Thank you very much for them. However, there was one theme that was sort of running through all of the comments, and I thought, you know what? Who am I? Who am I but the first among equals, comrade? I am here to do what you, the people, wish. And so, what we're going to try and do over the course of this episode is we are going to try and pursue a technological agenda. We're going to try and advance our economy technologically. We are going to try and invest in as much technology-focused policy as we possibly can, and hopefully it'll pay off. So, for example, science funding. This is something that we're going to fund to the absolute max, so it's going to take our funding up from 2.9 billion all the way up to 5 billion. Technology is going to get a massive boost. Energy efficiency is exactly the same. Does energy efficiency actually matter? Yeah, not really. But that's fine. Either way, let's fund this to the very max. State employees are going to be very happy about this. GDP, of course, is also going to increase. We've got a 6 billion surplus to play around with, and so we definitely want to make sure that we use it to its fullest. Tax evasion, I anticipate, will probably end at some point over the course of this episode. If it doesn't, no worries, to be honest. It doesn't really matter. We're making the budget work with tax evasion as it stands. Also, the corporate exodus. I don't care about the corporate exodus, to be honest. In fact, this is a good thing. The more of those horrific capitalist companies that can leave the country, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Respiratory diseases, the environment's in a little bit of a poor place, to be honest. We haven't really focused our efforts on the environment at all. So there you go. We might want to see if we can try and fix that a little bit in the future. I think I might actually just try and increase the tobacco tax. I know it's going to reduce equality, but at the end of the day, it's going to bring in an extra billion or so. An extra billion or so, around about an extra billion, and it's also going to absolutely destroy tobacco usage, which is actually kind of what we want. It does cost 16 political capital, so it is a little bit expensive, but there we are. Whatever. Right, so science funding is maxed out. What else can we do that will advance our technological basis? Well, there's a couple of things that immediately stick out. The Mars program is always really funky. 100% popularity. People really want to go to Mars. Robotics research grants, that's probably gonna work as well. So there we go. Small business grants, no. Space program, yes, of course. The space program is laughably cheap at only 4.8 billion. So I think that we're gonna see if we can try and institute that next turn if we've got the budget for it. So there we go. What can I say? I'm a very popular leader. Oh, look at this. The good news keeps on coming. GDP, what the heck? It's accelerating. It's literally just going up. This is with a corporate exodus, people. This is with a corporate exodus. I flippin' love it. Okay, health is, it's right up there. It is right up there. Productivity, unfortunately, still is it's a little janky. It's a little janky, but that's okay. I shouldn't focus on productivity. I should focus on the people. That's what matters, right? Anyway, health is good, GDP is good, unemployment is heading way down. We did indeed make a manifesto commitment to make sure that we fulfilled that, so we're going to have to continue to lower our unemployment for a couple of turns, but, you know, I'm under no illusions that will probably be totally fine. Speaking of manifesto commitments, how are my manifesto commitments looking? Human development raised by 50. Current is at 68%. Target is 80%. So we should see a little bit of an increase with wages because wages should start to climb. We do want to maybe adjust border controls just a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's not exactly ideal. I mean, I'm not happy about it. It's going to cost us however many political capital, 21 political capital. Maybe we just do something like that, actually. Yeah, maybe we don't go, like, completely over the top here. We spend 11 political capital. That seems reasonable, doesn't it? That seems totally reasonable. And at the end of that, we're running a 15 billion surplus here, so that is really, really, really rather decent. Yeah, tax evasion. How's tax evasion looking? It's beginning to come down. The good news is that tax evasion scales. So the more tax evasion you have, the more people evade their taxes, funnily enough. And the less values of tax evasion that you have, the fewer people evade their taxes. So the good news is that even by lowering this, I believe that we should technically start to bring this down. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Either way, our debt is slowly but surely decreasing. There's nothing that we really need to worry about there. The debt to GDP ratio is slowly but surely improving, especially as our economy advances and our GDP grows. It's actually gonna improve this ratio, which then in turn should give us a better interest rate. And when we get a better interest rate, that frees up more money. It means we can, you know, push our GDP, etc., etc., etc. Debt interest is still the largest source of expenditure. However, only marginally so. Only by about 1%. It's only 1% larger than the budget for the state health service. So that's honestly not completely terrible. Respiratory disease should start to take a little bit of a downward trend as soon as this properly starts to take effect. But you know, we can wait for a little while. We can wait for a little while before checking up on that. Anyway, let me see. Space program. Can we do a space program right now? No, we can't. We can do technology grants. Technology grants is a little bit of a leapfrog station. Bit of a halfway point between a space program and where we are at this moment in time. But it does a whole bunch of really, really good stuff, and it doesn't cost as much as a space program, although it costs roughly equivalent, to be honest. Okay, so unemployment down, technology way up, GDP up a little bit, productivity up a lot, capitalist opinion up, and religious membership down, which is very, very good. There were a lot of comments. About trying to get rid of religious membership, and I would say yes, that is something that we would like to do. Just in general, it is something that we want to see happen. We want to see it decrease. However, I'm not really looking to return to the days where there were a whole bunch of people in the group that was gonna assassinate me. I mean, that's just not what I'm interested in. I don't want to return to that level of fear ever again. Thank you very much. So, you know, going forward, we're going to see if we can try and find policies like technology grants, which I've just implemented over here somewhere. It's around that one. Yeah, so we're going to find policies like this, which decrease membership without decreasing opinion of the religious group. And if we can do that, then we should be fine. People smuggling, I'm pretty sure that this is either a choice between liberals or patriots. Patriots like me slightly less, so then we're going to deport them. There we go. Okay, ethnic minorities and liberals do not like it. Conservatives, patriots do. Ethnic minorities, that's actually, you know, I think I actually made the right decision there. Patriots are something that we need to worry about. Look, the membership may be small, certainly small enough, but it's a concern. It's a concern, and it's something that we need to keep on top of. Anyway, with 2 political capital, we're going to move on. Still an 11 billion surplus. I would anticipate that being a lot more next turn as well. So, oh boy. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that is so good. Well, that's not good. The fact that GDP decreased a little bit, I've got to imagine that was something to do with the global economy. Yeah, okay. So this is a bit of a concern. To me. Our economy is starting to track the global economy fairly closely, and that worries me. That worries me because that means that we may see a little bit of a dip in our debt to GDP ratio, which may just push us back into double C credit rating, which is not exactly ideal. The good news, however, is that we're running an obscene surplus, an absolutely obscene surplus, and that is with a tax evasion modifier in place as well. So this is not even the amount of money that we're collecting from our population. We are collecting a lot of money from our population. Okay, so let's implement the space program, as that is something that I did say that I was going to do. Hopefully we can get it. We can't do it. We need 24 political capital. Okay, that's fine. We can hold on to the next... We can hold on to the next turn. We maybe want to spend 2 political capital this turn. Recycling. How much does it cost to up recycling? Barely anything. Sure, let's do it. Let's do that, just so that we're not wasting any extra political capital. Oh, judicial independence and jury trial. Where is it? 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 No, that's legal aid. Yeah, jury trial right here. We actually need to increase this. This is 9 political capital all the way up to max. I mean, I do want to do that. I definitely do want to do that. Do I want to do it right now? Not really. Not really. We can push our manifesto commitments further into the future. That's no big deal at all. Anyway, we're probably not going to be able to hold on to this massive surplus, as our debt to GDP ratio may just go above 100% again. If it does, not happy about that. We'll implement the space program on the next turn, because we're going to get 18 political capital on this turn. That's going to take us up to 34 political capital, which is within the cap of 36. Excellent. Moving right along. Okay, something else that I should state. Oh, that is good news. That is very, very good news. Are we back? Are we back in sync? Yeah, we're pretty in sync with the global economy here. It's not a great place to be, but not terrible either. We managed to maintain a truly huge surplus there, which is absolutely excellent. Anyway, yes, something else that a lot of people were saying I should implement is universal basic income. 100,000%. Universal basic income is something that I do want to implement. The only reason that I haven't done it thus far is because of the political capital cost to introduce universal basic income. There's also... I don't think this is... Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to like compulsory work for the unemployed, even though I guess it could be seen as like a positive, I guess, but apparently not to socialists, so therefore we don't want to touch it with a barge pole. That's fine. That's just something to consider. We do have enough political capital for the space program, and everyone is wildly in favor of it. However, I think maybe we do want to prioritize the universal basic income, just because it's a little bit more of a substantive policy, I would say. It's also going to cost us 30 political capital. Yeah, I've never really had enough political capital to implement this policy before. I still think that it's the right thing to do. It actually tremendously increases wages, which is really, really, really good. It increases everyone's income by 7%. Capitalist opinion destroyed. Poverty destroyed as well. Weirdly, it doesn't have any downsides. It doesn't have any downsides. Usually a policy has a downside. I guess the fact that it costs 23 billion is maybe a downside. But still, I mean, it's quite a good policy, actually. It's a very, very good policy. Do I have charity? Can I have a little look at charity somewhere, please? Universal basic income. Yeah, charity. So I think charity is kind of new-ish, right? So charity doesn't feed into GDP directly. It increases education, foreign relations, and health. Charity tax relief, it increases the cost of the policy. Do we have charity tax relief? Yeah, we do. We do. It's going to cost us a little bit of money, isn't it? But not much, I don't think. How much does this cost us? It costs us about $500 million. $500 million a turn. So basically nothing. Basically nothing. The amount of tax that we're writing off as a result of charity is almost negligible. Either way, human development should go through the roof here, because wages, the component of human development that was previously being held back the most. I say that. Okay, health is almost maxed out. Education needs a lot more work, for sure. But it's proving stubborn for some obscene reason. Wages were definitely the lowest out of all three of them, for sure. But either way, we should be able to unlock that now. Immigration is going down just a little bit, but because our GDP is so good, and our stability is so good, and our human development is pretty good, and our health is good, that actually feeds into immigration. So it kind of balances itself out, which I find pretty darn cool, if you ask me. Either way, we need to see if we can try and decrease that a little bit further. Education as well, we should look to max out. I mean, do I want to just max out state schools? I mean, it's going to cost an extra couple of billion. I think that we're probably going to need a targeted policy. A targeted policy to do with schools. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's got to be something. I suspect that it's probably in the antibiotics area. What am I talking about? I saw antibiotics ban, and my brain thought, say antibiotics, just say it, potato. But no, it's probably going to be in here, or perhaps in public services. Adult education subsidies, I think, is a good one, which advances education. We need 12 political capital in order to do that, so that's fine. Yeah, so for the most part, we're going to spend this surplus. We're going to spend this surplus on universal basic income. It would be really, really nice if over the next wee while we could eliminate tax evasion, which will again unlock more money, which is grand. Okay, unemployment down. Excellent. That's really, really good. We're almost to the point of our manifesto commitment. Actually, that's really, really good. Ooh, also, state broadcaster. We should see what the heck this does. It increases education a little bit. Socialist opinion. That's good, actually. Yeah, we should definitely see if we can max that out as much as we possibly can. I mean, state anything is what we're after, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. We want to become the state. The state will become us. We will merge in glorious harmony or something. The other thing that we need to consider, do we want to tweak income tax down a little bit? See, the thing is that we can actually afford to take income tax down. We can afford to take income tax down below the stop trigger for like a turn or two. So we basically just lower spending by like, I don't know, about that much, and it basically eliminates tax evasion in a turn. And then we just crank it back up. Is that a good plan? It's a little bit spooky. It's a little bit spooky, but I think it's our best chance of developing a space program in quick time, right? I believe. So whilst that is going on, let's see if we can implement technology colleges. Are technology colleges good? I can never remember if technology colleges are something that capitalists dislike or if it's something that socialists dislike. Either way, that's something that we'll want to think about a little bit later on. Adult education subsidies, brilliant. Only costs us 500 and something million. And education is going to be boosted by 8%. Productivity as well is going to be boosted, which is really, really good. I think we may still be running a technical surplus next turn. But, you know, you've got to bear in mind is that we're going into a period where the economy is going to deteriorate, and it's going to be a little bit of a disaster. Also, I think, oh, thank goodness, the video game almost crashed on me, but that's okay. All right, what do we got? Public land law, support the law. Sure, go for it. Socialists love it. Farmers hate it. Don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Okay, GDP did take a little bit of a hit there. We may still be running a surplus. We're running an ever so slight deficit. It doesn't actually matter though, as I've already said, as long as tax evasion comes down, we are going to be totally fine, I think. Capital gains tax, corporation tax, and income tax will all hit back up to 100%, which is really, really great. I mean, is there anything that we can do to sort of shrink our expenditure just a little bit? Because that would be really, really nice if that's the case. It's also worth noting, efficiency with which taxes are raised is 108%, so we're actually getting a good amount of money due to our cabinet minister's experience. Unfortunately, she hates us. Motorists, oh boy, I've not done a single good thing for motorists, have I? Traffic congestion? Traffic congestion's alright. Car usage is fine, doesn't really impact things altogether too much. I tell you what I can do. I do have the opportunity to sort out jury trial. There we go. I mean, that'll make liberals much happier. I say much happier. It's going to make them a little bit happier. Doesn't cost me anything. It may increase our deficit by a couple of hundred million here or there, but I mean, who's really counting? When you get to the tens and the hundreds of millions, basically doesn't even exist. Anyway, let's see what we can cut out. Maybe we can cut out some sort of nonsense capitalist policy for $1 billion or so. Road building, actually. Road building. What if we were to just cut road building out? Thing about road building is that it would make motorists hate me even more, and I don't know if I really want to do that. It would cut the money out, though. Even though Kristen Alexander likes me, Beverly Moore here, I believe that's her name, Beverly Moore. Yep, you dislike me because motorists dislike me. I mean, speed cameras. Maybe we could get rid of speed cameras. It increases health by a little bit, but like, what's the point of speed cameras? What is the point of speed cameras? Oh, I guess actually. I guess if we increased speed cameras, then that would give us a little bit of money. However, I've got to be brutally honest. I don't really care about speed cameras. I don't really care about speed cameras at all. I'm gonna cancel the policy, and it's gonna make motorists a heck of a lot happier. You're gosh darn right. Beverly Moore, do not say that I did not try. Bus lanes. You know what? Maybe I scale back bus lanes as well. Maybe I scale back bus lanes. It'll save me a couple of tens of millions. Excellent. So go do that as well. And what does that leave us with? One singular political capital. Ban animal testing or do not ban it. Sure, ban it. We take a GDP hit to that. I cannot believe that 1% of our GDP was reliant on animal testing. I simply don't believe that. Okay, that means that we're technically running a deficit going forward to the next turn. I'm okay with that. It's only a couple of $100 million. We can just about sustain this. Another foreign neighbor nuclear missile test. Wow. Okay. I don't know why, but apparently everyone around us is testing nuclear missiles. Maybe it's the same nation, you know, since the last time that we got this event, or maybe it's another one. Who honestly knows? Education is up since we introduced the adult education subsidies, rightfully so. Very, very happy with that. How much is GDP taking a hit? Ooh, quite a lot, actually. I suspect that we will be running a Yeah, we're running a deficit now that is substantial, I would say. How is human development being impacted? Human development's actually up in a major, major way, which is great. You know, I'm very, very happy about that. Presumably, it's been mostly through wage growth, through the introduction of universal basic credit. I'm happy about that. I'm very, very happy about that. That is good. That is great. But it's not perfect. Tax evasion. We need to just get this tax evasion modifier just disappeared. I will try and stem the flow this turn because we were doing so well. We were paying back our debt. We had a good debt to GDP ratio. My debt to GDP ratio is still okay, 93.39%. But it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And I'm not thrilled about that reality. Luxury goods tax. Frequent flyer tax. I feel like a frequent flyer tax is good. Let's do it. Okay, so that's going to raise like a couple of billion. Wealthy people aren't going to like it. GDP is going to decrease supposedly by 2%. It's going to bring in $4 billion, though. It's going to bring in $4 billion. Is it a temporary measure? I feel like it's a temporary measure. But maybe it won't be. Either way, we need to raise tax somehow, and that's one of the ways that I think that we should go about doing it. Anything else which would make a terrific difference? Junk food tax? Maybe a junk food tax. Do we still have obesity kicking around? We actually do. We're very, very close to fixing that. And that increases healthcare demand and healthcare cost. So healthcare cost is currently very, very high at this moment in time. We can't see here. But our healthcare, I know for a fact, is being provided entirely by the state health service. So how much does this cost? $40 billion? Yeah, so pretty much if we, you know, drop that by around about 10%, it's a lot, yeah. Wait, the poor state of the environment? The poor state of the environment is also increasing the cost of healthcare as well, which is not exactly ideal. But obesity is definitely the biggest contributor after the poor state of the environment. So maybe we want to sort out the environment whilst all of this is ongoing. Maybe. It's an idea. Anyway, what did I say that I was going to go and do? I was going to introduce a junk food tax. That was it. Excellent. Okay. Junk food tax. Health is going to increase. Youths are going to hate it. Everyone's income is going to decrease, like, slightly. Poverty is going to increase a little bit, but poverty is in a really, really good place at this moment in time. Plant-based diets are going to increase, and obesity is going to be absolutely decimated, which is excellent. Let me just check to make sure that poverty is still at rock bottom. It is still at rock bottom. There was a little bit of a resurgence over here, but now that we've got the universal basic income, I very much doubt that that's going to matter altogether too much. Cool. All right, so with that, we should definitely be in surplus territory. Hopefully tax evasion will not add the frequent flyer tax. I'm going to assume that the frequent flyer tax cannot be evaded. Here's hoping anyway. Unemployment, a good tumble there. A good tumble. Very, very happy with that. GDP actually grew a little bit, which is great. Very, very happy with that. LGBT teaching in school. Sure. Religious and conservative voting groups dislike that. That's okay. All right, so at the end of that, we're still technically running a deficit. We are still technically running a deficit, but that's okay, because this is all in aid of fixing this tax evasion problem, which is oh so tricksy, and we're very, very close to getting rid of it anyway. Come on, we can do it. Are there any situations that look like they're developing? I don't think so. Angels of Heavenly Justice, not a big deal. Membership is minimal. True Patriots, it's decreasing. Patriots should like me. I introduced a couple of policies for them. Membership is very, very low. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem with Patriots, is that I know for a fact, as soon as I introduce the space program policy, everyone is going to become a Patriot, and that's going to make everyone hate me, which is just a disaster. Capitalists, by the way, this is the max. This is the max level that capitalists can be at. Apparently, this is the lowest percentage of the population. It sucks, but it's true. We've just introduced universal basic income, but even that seems to have, I mean, almost a negligible effect, really, on the membership of the capitalist group. Beverly Moore. Body cameras. You want me to introduce body cameras? Okay, I mean, look, that's a popular policy. Everyone seems to like it. I can fund it to the max. Conservatives don't like it. State employees don't like it. Trade unionists don't like it. But liberals love it. Liberals love it. Racial tension goes way down. Corruption goes way down as well. I mean, we don't even necessarily have to fund this all the way to the max. We're only talking about a difference of about £100 million here. So, I mean, it's not a huge amount. Let's err on the side of caution. Let's err on the side of caution and also on the side of fiscal responsibility. Let's not spend all of our cash before we have it. Obesity should definitely start to trend downwards very, very rapidly. Respiratory disease, I mean, this is not showing any sign of ending until we can improve the environment. And to be brutally honest, how the heck are we going to improve the environment? This is how we're going to improve the environment. Pollution controls. Pollution controls. GDP is going to take a little bit of a hit, but everything else gets better because we increase the controls on pollution. CO2 emissions. Where are CO2 emissions? I mean, not bad. Average temperature, fairly low, fairly under control at this moment in time. I think we're gonna boost. I think we're gonna boost pollution controls. Yeah. -4% to GDP, though. I think, honestly, my GDP is in a really, really good place. The only problem is, maybe I don't even want to boost it fully. Yeah, you know what? Let's not even boost it fully. Let's boost it to, like, there. Sure. Excellent. Okay. So GDP is going to take a hit, but I think that it's going to be worth doing. Maybe we can even boost up helicopter money a little bit to account for that. Yeah, sure. Half an extra %. Inflation is going to go through the roof, but I mean, that's not stopped us before. It's already pretty high, to be honest, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Either way, I'm expecting either a tiny deficit or a very, very slight surplus on this turn. Okay, GDP is okay. It's okay. It's okay. A trade agreement. A group of Western countries has established an initiative to set up a new trading agreement regulating tariffs, quotas, and other trade restrictions. This contract should help to prevent emerging countries from catching up and secure worldwide economic dominance at the expense of global equality. No, we are all about global equality here. That's what we're all about. Comrades around the world, unite. Excellent. Okay, we're still running a deficit. Wow. We're still running a deficit. The good news is the fact that our GDP is decreasing is almost entirely due to the fact that the global economy is collapsing around us. 1 or 2 more turns, and then we fix tax evasion. We're so close. We're so close, folks. We're so close. We're so close. Uncompetitive economy. The economy is going to remain stubbornly competitive until we can solve a couple of these things. Alcohol consumption, for example. Maybe we boost that just a little bit more. I think we do. Let's boost that a little bit more. I doubt that we're going to be able to solve the uncompetitive economy nonsense, by the way, but, you know, you never know. It might just happen. Productivity as well. Productivity needs to go way, 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 way up. Respiratory disease, we're kind of on top of that with the whole pollution control thing. Technology grants, that's increasing productivity. Unemployment is still too high. Wages are too high to, or, you know, they're so high that they impact productivity negatively, I believe. Anything else that we can really change? Not much here at all. Either way, a slight deficit, a slight technical deficit is fine enough. Tax evasion. We're so close. As soon as we're done with tax evasion, boom, instantly income tax is coming back in a major way, and we're going to be totally fine, and we're going to fund like a whole bunch of programs, and it's going to be insanely great. It's going to be brilliant. Yeah, also we need to see if we can adjust this too. We adjust this. Working week is gonna decrease. How does the working week impact? Doesn't impact anything. Doesn't impact anything at all. It impacts health, which is kind of important, but health is already pretty much maxed out, so there's not much of a point in dealing with this. Unbelievably, foreign investment is really ridiculously high. In an ideal world, we'd have pretty much exactly the level of foreign investment that we've got at this moment in time. Obesity is definitely going to end next turn, which is so good, and that's going to save us 10%. That's going to save us at least 4 billion. It's going to save us at least 4 billion in healthcare costs. We may end up taking a credit rating downgrade, but if that's the case, then that's fine. Okay, a cabinet minister, diversity quotas for companies. I'm sure that won't be a problem. As long as I can remember to do it, we should be fine. Obesity has ended. Great. GDP, roughly even, but a little bit worrying that it trended downwards. The deficit, okay, so the deficit should have increased there by a little bit more than I think that it did. Yeah, so the state health service is now only costing us 37 billion as opposed to the 40 billion that it was costing us. It's going to take 6 turns of inertia in order to get rid of this obesity modifier. Now, that's going to be a while. So 8% divided by 6, I believe, because I believe it decays. I believe it decays evenly. Like what? 1.5% a turn. So okay, it's going to be a couple of turns before this deficit is eliminated anyway. Give me some good news. Tax evasion. It looks like it's going to end next turn. It looks like it's going to end next turn. Oh, it's so good though. It's so good. We're going to free up so much money as soon as that ends up finishing. How's respiratory disease looking? Not great. Not great at all. But at least we're done with obesity, which is kind of nice. Are there any situations that are developing? Don't think so. True patriots still exist, but it's the only real threat. And to be honest, I did try and appease the patriots. the patriots. Foreign investor tax breaks. To be honest, there's no reason really to keep this around other than the fact that it's a straight up good policy. and only upsets the Patriots. Could maybe scale it back a little bit, because it does cost us rather a large amount of money, and we don't get that much of a benefit from it. I tell you what, that's a good idea. Let's scale back foreign investor tax breaks. Only costs us a single political capital, so that's fine. That is totally fine. Anything else that we really need to worry about? Oh yeah, I do need to think about bumping the state energy service back to max. That's definitely something that I want to do, but it's just not a priority at this moment in time. Organized crime, I mean, we've talked a little bit about how we should just legalize narcotics, and that will allow us to play around with collecting legal revenue from the sale of currently illegal drugs. So there you go. What else? Space, I know. Mars, yes, I know, but I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to spend any money. If anything, I want to collect more money at this moment in time. An internet tax? An internet tax. Oh boy, okay. An internet tax is wildly unpopular. Okay. Cancel the policy, please. I'd love to cancel the policy. Alright, this is not good. I thought, hey, let's tax the internet, but apparently that totally torpedoes technology. Just as we were trying to improve it. Okay, that is almost straight up gonna be a cancellation next turn. Streamer offers birthday song. A popular internet streamer is offering to sing for you on your birthday in public. What the heck? Sure. Parents hate it? Why do parents hate that? I don't know why parents hate that. That's weird. Okay, GDP continues to fall a little bit. How are we doing? That looks like next turn we're gonna hit the next interest rate rating. Unfortunately, the good news is that the global economy has almost completely sunk to the bottom, which is fine. Tax evasion. Oh, video game. Is this not gonna end? Is this not gonna end? Do I really need to tweak my tax evasion? Do I need to tweak income tax down just a little bit more? I think I do. Okay, do that. Not happy about that. Okay, so that's going to cost us an extra couple of billion, which is going to be a little bit of additional debt that we're going to have to take on. You know, I could cut back. I could cut back universal basic income. I could cut back anything. I could cut back any number of policies. However, I will not countenance such an option. No siree. Not even close. Not even close. I'm not even considering cutting back on any of my core socialist policies. Speaking of core socialist policies, State Rail Company. State Rail Company. You know what? Now is a good time. Now is a good time. Nationalize the industry. Nationalize the industry whilst I'm still paying a reasonably small level of debt. And I'm actually going to use it for income at this moment in time, which is not ideal at all. I do want to fully subsidize it, but unfortunately, at this moment in time, I do not have the option to fully subsidize it. But at least I can nationalize it, right? At least I can nationalize it. And still make a couple of billion from it. I mean, it's not a very socialist thing to do, I feel, but, you know, it's halfway there. It's halfway there. It's important. It's at least something. It's at least something. Is there anything else that we can nationalize? I don't think that there's anything else that we can nationalize. I think we are 100% nationalized, right? I think that's 100%. Oh. I forgot. Who wanted that policy? Did you want a policy? I knew I'd forget. I knew I'd forget to to implement the policy that you cared about. Oh, that's irritating. That's irritating. Okay, so that's a little bit of a pain in the backside. We might see one of our cabinet ministers leave. Also, it says that we're running a deficit. Don't love that. Don't love that at all. Okay. Unemployment is up substantially because of our stupid state rail company. But that's fine. All right. GDP continuing to slide a little bit, but that's okay. Situation imminent. Wow. Okay. Labor laws dictate that... What the heck? So you're telling me that... Wait, how did this end up happening? A potentially bad situation on our hands. Wait, so I don't deal with... Okay. All right. As soon as I take control of the railways, everyone gets upset at me. It's a disaster. It's a big old disaster. Well, you know what? It's not as much of a disaster as the fact that tax evasion is still here. Still here, irritatingly enough. Still here, and there is nothing that we can do about it. Okay, well, tax evasion. Give me the good news. Why is it not ended? It should be ending. Next turn, if it doesn't end, I am going to eat my hat. And I don't wear hats. So I'm going to be eating nothing. It's a very empty threat. A very, very, very empty threat. Corporate exodus is still happening. Uncompetitive economy is coming down, but the only reason that it's coming down is because my GDP is collapsing, and therefore it's becoming a little bit more of a competitive country. Productivity is rising, though, so that's good. Happy with that. How's our industrial automation doing? Honestly, not terrible. Not terrible at all. Mostly, it's in a bit of a negative place because of the negative automation tax. I need to cancel this horrific internet policy. This internet tax policy. Yeah, it's just garbage. It's just straight garbage. Let's unlock the potential. Let's unlock the potential of the internet or something. I don't know what the kids these days are doing. What else do I want to introduce? I feel like I got to introduce a policy that's going to make people happy. A smart meter program. That's right. That's right. Let's introduce a maximally funded smart meter program. Energy efficiency is going to go through the flippin' roof. The people are going to love me. Energy efficiency. Look at this. We're going to actually end up increasing GDP because we're going to be such an energy efficient nation. Is that not super exciting? DNA database. If I allow the database, then liberals will like me? Sure. No, wait, no. Criminal only database. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Liberals dislike me a little bit. I had an option to prevent there, but that's also fine. It worked out. Okay, so politically, we're doing really, 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 really well. Unemployment is stubbornly high. I think I need to fund something. I need to fund something. I think I'm gonna fund the state rail company. I need to destroy unemployment. I need to destroy unemployment before I'm able to... I need to destroy unemployment before I fail my manifesto commitment. So, you know what? We're going to end up spending $13 billion. We're going to flippin' max that thing out. That's right. That's right. If I could do the same with the state electricity company, I would like to. But I can't, so I won't. We can wait until next turn. Okay, this is going to be probably the nastiest turn that we see in a long time. This is the very low point of the global economy. It's also the moment where we may have a deficit that is over 10 billion. Probably will be over 15 billion, maybe over 20 billion. But just know, as soon as tax evasion ends, we're going to sort that out. We're going to totally sort that out. It's all going to be fine. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. What have we got going on? GDP, a little bit of a hit there. Is that because of the rail strike? No, not even slightly. We've fixed the rail strike. The rail strike was a single turn, and it'll be done with next turn. So that's absolutely a-okay. Unemployment, oh boy, that's irritatingly just above my manifesto commitment right there. State energy company, state broadcaster. Let's see if we can fund those to the absolute max over the course of this turn. Oh man, we are so close. Right. Yeah. Ministerial resignation. Who stepped down? Oh no, Beverly Moore. Can I rehire you, please? I would very much like somebody who's not a capitalist, self-employed and a capitalist. Don't think self-employed people love me, to be honest. Just saying. They don't hate me. Capitalists, I mean, it's just off the charts. It's just off the charts. Well, we'll hire somebody who... I guess we'll hire you because you're an environmentalist at least. Doesn't feel great. Environmentalists do like me, but capitalists obviously don't. We're also going to end up taking... Yeah, wow. Okay. Right. You know why that number is so low? Because we're only raising our taxes with 94% efficiency. Do I straight up need to reshuffle right now? I think I just need to get somebody... I think I need to get somebody malleable into the cabinet. I literally cannot afford to take a 56 billion pound deficit. Okay, this is good news. This is good news. Okay, I can bump income tax. We can bump it by a good amount. We'll keep it below the ribbon for now. And then after the election, we will bump it. I'm going to reshuffle the cabinet. Do I want to reshuffle the cabinet right now? Can I afford a turn? Can I afford one turn with a deficit of that level? I think I can. I think I absolutely can. Unemployment, I do need to cut. Income tax, I'm not cutting income tax. Not a flipping chance. Inflation, cut inflation. Why would anyone cut inflation in this game? Like, honestly, why would you bother cutting inflation? Raise GDP by 50%. I'll make that pledge. I'm interested in that. I'll make that pledge for sure. Nothing else I'm really interested in, to be honest. I don't even feel like I need to make a speech. I'm in a great place. I'm in a really, really good place politically. Yeah, so unemployment is the thing that I want to solve. Let's fully fund state energy. Where's the state broadcaster? I think it's in here somewhere. I think it's around here. State broadcaster. Let's fully fund the state broadcaster as well. This is literally every single, like, flagship socialist policy that we could possibly introduce. We've got it. Let's increase community policing as well, even though we haven't played around with it at all. Gender Discrimination Act. Gender equality. I mean, what's gender equality looking like at this moment in time? We could probably try and boost that, I guess. Membership of the liberal group. Sure, let's do that. Let's absolutely do that. Costs 2 political capital. It's practically free. It's practically free. Let's go into this election. This is gonna be an easy one, I think. You know, look, we're riding high in the polls. 96% popularity. Everyone who's a socialist is just so flippin' happy with us. They cannot be fanatically supportive. Membership, excellent. Happiness distribution. Look at this. There are a couple of people who don't love me, but even those people will vote for me. I think. I suspect. There's like a 94% chance. All right, should we quickly look at our threat assessment? It's minimal across the board, which is excellent. Very, very happy with that. Let's go to the next turn. Let's hope for the best. I'm not really anticipating a loss. I'm anticipating a massive victory here. Huge majority. 96% of all votes cast are coming my way, which is excellent. Inflation. Something that we can be proud about. At last, inflation. Telecoms industry. Decimated. Tourism. Actually unbelievably high. I have no idea why. Somebody please tell me. Crime. Doesn't exist anymore. Crime. Never heard of it. Energy industry. Also doesn't exist anymore. Poor earnings. Up massively. Water industry. Doesn't exist anymore. Rail industry. Doesn't exist anymore, mate. Doesn't exist anymore. Equality. Up. Lifespan. Up. Poverty. Down. Doesn't exist anymore. Currency strength. What's the currency strength? Almost doesn't exist anymore. Private housing. What's private housing? Never seen a private house in my life. Unemployment. Actually, I think we did it. I genuinely think that we managed to achieve our goal. If we didn't, I'll be very surprised. Reshuffle time. Yeah, who's the tax? Who's the tax person? You know what? Let me experience. Who's got experience? I need somebody with 100% experience. Who likes tax? Does anyone like tax? Sympathies state. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna reshuffle everyone that's currently on 100% experience. Yeah, so I'm gonna reshuffle these three, okay? And we just basically need to put the person who is most qualified to be in government in the tax job. Trade unionist and commuter. Retired and socialist. It's gotta be you, actually. It's gotta be you. Yeah, 100%. We don't want to faff around. We don't want to faff around with tax issues ever again. No siree. And then who was the last person that we had? Environmentalist, capitalist. Was it you? Who was it? I can't even remember. Oh, it was you, Anne Hayes. No, it wasn't you, Anne Hayes. Who the heck was it? I have no idea who it was, but you're fine. Self-employed I don't want to put self-employed capitalist in charge of the transport department. Environmentalist capital. It was you. Hazel Adams. It was you. Okay, this is so flippin' good. Okay, this is the best turn. I'm so unbelievably happy that this turn has happened. GDP is finally up. Excellent. Unemployment is just way down, which is great because the state is employing like 3/4 of everyone that's working. Tax evasion has ended. The rail strike has ended. Brilliant. Technological advantage has developed, which leads to a massive boost in productivity, which might just be a large enough boost to deal with the fact that we have an uncompetitive economy? No, apparently not. Right, so what we're going to do, payroll tax is actually our largest source of income now, which is kind of obscene. We are going to boost income tax right the way back up to the maximum amount that we can actually do. Yeah, we're gonna really increase the income tax. That is the way that we get back into the game here, because at the moment our deficit is, I mean, far too high. But the other thing that you've got to bear in mind is that our income will be collected with more than 94% efficiency. Don't even worry about it. It's going to be fine. Debt interest is up to 40 billion. That's okay. We can just about handle that. The fact that GDP has increased is good. Technological advantage is going to continue to drag it upwards. A ban on FGM. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm totally happy to do that. That's, of course, something that I'm happy to do. So there we go. It's in place. It's in place. There you go. Cyberbullying, which is affected by the internet speed, which is a matter of hilarity, personally. I don't think that that's really possible. Either way, that's really good. That's really good. Let's see where our deficit goes. This is just about the biggest divergence. Just about the biggest divergence that is possible. Also, our interest rate increased a couple of turns ago. Was I paying attention to that? I don't think I really was. Maybe that's why we've got such a large deficit. Did it show up? Reject the ban. I'm going to reject the ban. The reason that I'm going to reject the ban is that I do not want religious people hating on me. No siree. No siree. Not at all. Okay, what do we got? Oh, what? How the heck did the corporate exodus end? Somebody please tell me? Also, hyperinflation is about to start. I knew that it had to be coming. I knew that it had to be coming. Right. Let's reduce helicopter money. That's fine. I do not understand. I do not understand how the corporate exodus managed to clear up. But that has, like, unlocked a tremendous amount of GDP. We're at 55% efficiency at this moment in 55 billion in deficit at this moment in time. But that is totally fine. Income efficiency with which taxes are raised is at 99%. That will climb. That can climb. I would fully anticipate that will climb as we go, which is great. Effectiveness is very low. Is there nobody that's higher? How good they are at the job? Okay. I think I need somebody with high effectiveness. Do I have anyone with high effectiveness? Clyde Miller? I think I actually want to swap you. Okay, yeah, this is a super bad play, but I think it has to be done. Okay, Clyde and you. Yeah, so the Chancellor and... So yeah, you two. Okay, You and you. Reshuffle the cabinet. Clyde, you're gonna get hired. I know I just did this. I'm sorry. But it's very important. It's very important that our income is collected with the maximum amount of efficiency as possible. So that is kind of good. Technological advantage is looking great. I still have absolutely no idea why the corporate exodus ended. I hadn't looked at that for a couple of turns, but you know, when I did look at it, I could see that it was not going in a great direction. So I don't understand why the heck that actually happened. But there we go. Business confidence is completely shot. Completely shot. Mostly due to inflation. Also reshuffling the cabinet. Not a good vibe. Not a good vibe for business confidence. Can you blame him really? Not to be honest. I can't. Productivity is actually in a decent place, but to be honest, I'm not really bothered about productivity. Not even slightly. You know what I'm bothered about? The fact that I am losing 55 billion a turn. I'm gonna ban facial recognition technology. We're gonna proceed to the next turn, and I'm gonna hope. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, turns out that hyperinflation is a real thing. I was overconfident. I'm not over the moon about the fact that it exists. How has our education gone down? That doesn't make sense. How did our what? GDP, by the way. No. Hyperinflation was so easy to avoid, and I jacked it up. I jacked it up just at the last moment there. I jacked it right the way up. Oh boy. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. I need to continue to bring it back down. We gotta bring it right the way back down. It's gonna lower our GDP. Is that something that we care about? Yes. Is it something that is unavoidable? Yes. GDP has... Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so GDP has just led to a, what, like 3, 5, 6, 7 times fold in unemployment. I don't think I've ever seen something as crazy as that. That's bonkers. Corporate exodus. I have no idea how this managed to end. Hyperinflation, of course, means that we're going to end up getting it back. I just don't understand how it ended in the first place. I do not understand how it ended in the first place. I guess the technological advantage did a really, really good job of drawing companies back. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. All right. Corporate exodus is flashing on the screen. It's still there. That's okay. Don't even worry about it. All right. I'm going to boost up our income tax just a little bit more. We're not going to take it much higher than that because I worry that something might develop. But, you know, certainly an extra couple of billion. An extra couple of billion should help get us over the line here. What's the percentage? Yeah, efficiency with which taxes are raised is 108%. So if I'm running a deficit, in these current conditions where my GDP literally jumped off a cliff there, that's fine. Our interest rate is, I guarantee, going to degrade from this point because look at this. Our debt to GDP ratio is at 91% at this moment in time. What's it going to be next turn? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, GDP doesn't exist anymore. Goodbye, GDP. Corporate exodus has developed. That's fine. I mean, that's fine. A food crisis has developed. Great, because the price of food just maxed itself out because of hyperinflation. Excellent. Emergency powers due to the fact that we have hyperinflation has increased by 100%. What the heck is that? And fake news. Okay, as if it couldn't get any worse. Fake news has also developed. Our credit rating has been downgraded. Is that really a problem? Cyberbullying is still potentially an issue, but that's fine. Right. Right. We have emergency powers. We have emergency powers that gives us a whole bunch of extra political capital. To be honest, this is easy to fix. This is easy. This is easy. This is easy. This is easy to fix. This is absolutely easy to fix. I'm going to cancel the policy. I'm going to cancel helicopter money. In fact, am I going to cancel helicopter money? You know, no. I'm not even going to cancel helicopter money. It's just not that important. It's just going to take 8 turns. It's just going to take 8 turns to rectify. Honestly, once we solve hyperinflation, we will be totally fine. The technological advantage is still going to be maintained. The corporate exodus, you know, the hyperinflation and whatnot, it's bad. It's bad. I get it. But it's going to start coming down. It's going to start coming down. The helicopter money is the entire reason why we have inflation in the first place. We can actually tweak this a little bit as well, just to make sure that we decrease inflation as much as we possibly can. You know, there is a moral here. There's a moral to the story. Something, something, something. Don't play with fire. Something, something, something. Something, something, something. However, at the end of the day, we can survive this. We can survive this, comrade. It's okay. It's just a short-term setback. And I mean that genuinely, by the way. It is a short-term setback. I am super not worried about this. We've got Clyde Miller in charge of tax. I have full confidence in Clyde Miller here. He's going to do a great job, and he's going to get us through this. The good news is the economy is in such a bad place that it might actually become competitive. Seriously, it might actually become competitive, or it might not be. You never know. The food crisis is going to be a little bit of a challenging one to solve. I mean, everyone hates it, to be honest. Productivity takes a hit. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. But it's okay. We're getting on top of it. Look at this. Respiratory disease. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity here, folks. It's an opportunity to cure respiratory disease. That's what we have to look at it as. Yeah, an opportunity to cure respiratory disease. Maybe we want to boost income tax just by a little bit more. I think we do, actually. Boost income tax just by a little bit more. We don't want to stray into the territory of tax evasion. I know that we don't want to do that, but at the same time, we don't want to risk it too much. Oh my goodness. Well, things are heating up. Do we want to win? Yes, we absolutely do. Will we win? Who knows? Who knows? Have we had an opportunity to implement a space program? No, because we've had hyperinflation. Will we survive? Tune in next time to find out. Ladies and gents, my name, of course, has been Over the Potato. This has been Democracy 4. Thanks, as ever, to the fantastic Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/Over the Potato. Also, thanks to Banana Nana and C-Senpai for being the 2 $25+ tier patrons. Thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.